Inspiration and incarnation do not necessarily need to be understood within any sort of inerrantist framework, even though the book was written as an expression of progressive inerrancy. Progressive inerrantists and non-inerrantists can engage the book within either paradigm. But, much more importantly, I am conscious that many over the years have been encouraged and helped by the book and its central theme, that a thoroughly encultured Bible, like a thoroughly encultured Jesus, is exactly what God has given the Church, and should therefore be embraced as is, and engaged honestly and without apology, in both senses of the word. Inspiration and incarnation has been used as an assigned text in many colleges and seminaries, and used in churches to give faithful readers of Scripture spiritual space for thinking through some of the challenges of the study of Scripture in modern times. Perhaps the biggest challenge, especially for college and seminary students, is in seeing how firmly situated Scripture is in its varying historical contexts, the study of which has been the core focus of modern biblical studies. Rather than supporting a suspicious or defensive posture, inspiration and incarnation has helped students resolve at least some tensions between their faith in God and modern scholarship, by showing that many of the problems allegedly caused by the modern study of Scripture are really problems with faulty expectations of how the Bible should work perpetuated within evangelicalism. For this reason, I am eager to see the message and content of inspiration and incarnation remain as is, and continue to help others who are currently processing their faith in similar ways. My hope now, as it was 10 years ago, is that inspiration and incarnation can be of help and encouragement to these individuals. The postscript will address various other matters concerning the book's reception, some criticisms of it, and my continued hope for its future. Peter Enns, September 3rd, 2014. Preface to the first edition. The aim of this book is not novelty but synthesis. My focus is twofold: to bring together a variety of data that biblical scholars work with every day for those who do not have first-hand familiarity with these data, and to look at these data with a clear view toward discussing their implications for an evangelical doctrine of Scripture. Although it is not always made explicit, in working through these issues I lean heavily on the work of many scholars. Also influential has been my own theological tradition, represented by my colleagues at Westminster Theological Seminary, past and present, and the wider tradition of which that institution is a part. This is not to imply that I speak for that institution or tradition. Nevertheless, I am thankful for being part of such a solidly faithful group that does not shy away from some difficult yet basic questions, and with whom I am able to have frank and open discussions. This does not happen at every institution, and I do not take that privilege for granted. Biblical citations are quoted from the New International Version, except where noted. Apocryphal material is quoted from the New Revised Standard Version. With the exception of the Code of Hammurabi, which is quoted from James Pritchard's Ancient Near Eastern Texts, though I have modernized it in places, the Ancient Near Eastern Texts in Chapter 2 are quoted from The Context of Scripture by W. W. Hallow and K. L. Younger. In Chapter 4, the pseudepigraphal texts are quoted from James Charlesworth's Old Testament Pseudepigrapha, and the Dead Sea Scrolls from G. Vermesh's Dead Sea Scrolls in English. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my editor, Jim Kinney, who has spent much time interacting with me on this project. My former student, Shannon Geiger, now a church planter in Dallas, Texas, spent many hours reading an earlier draft of this book and made numerous invaluable suggestions. This is a better book for her efforts. I believe with all my heart that honesty with oneself is a central component to spiritual growth. God honors our honest questions. He is not surprised by them, nor is he ashamed to be our God when we